Hi, George here. The show you're about to watch was produced before the pandemic, which explains why no one's wearing a mask. Now, a lot of the places I visit are still in the process of reopening, but once things are safe and back to normal, I highly encourage you to check them out and support them. So with that said, enjoy the show. My name is George Igo, and throughout my entire life, my travel ambitions have always outweighed my bank account. But with some research, planning, and a little creativity, I find the best things to do in a city, all without spending more than $100. This is George Goes Everywhere. Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore a city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100. I'm in Boston today and I have 5 categories I want to hit. History, food, drink, people, and nature. So, let's explore Beantown on a budget. I want to start my Boston tour off with something classic, so I've come to the USS Constitution, aka Old Ironsides. Probably a bunch of other nicknames that I don't even know about, but that's what I can find out. This is undoubtedly where a lot of people reenact the scene from Titanic, but I'm classier than that. I will not subject you to such tomfoolery. There's a couple decks below here. I hear the clearance is gonna be a little low for a man like myself, but let's check it out. Oh yeah, that's a little low. I really gotta watch my head. People weren't as tall back in the day, apparently. If I position myself right between the beams, I can just barely stand up. Do not climb on guns. They won't let you have any fun. Tight squeeze. The ceiling's even lower down here. All right, let's head back up to the slightly less comically low deck. Oh yeah, you see this? This is luxurious by comparison. All right, I've had enough of ducking. I'm gonna head back up to the main deck. I'm realizing how limited my nautical terminology really is. All the nautical terms I know are from pirates, and I can't quote pirate lines on the USS Constitution. That'd just be disrespectful. All right, now that we've spent some time in the water, it's time to go spend some time on the farm. It's a beautiful time of year in New England, so I have to get some nature in, and what better place to do that than at a corn maze? I actually had a bad experience in a corn maze once. It was one of those haunted corn maze situations, and I won't get into it, but it was a whole to-do, so ever since then I've kind of soured on horticultural mazes of any kind, so I'm looking for a little redemption here. Oh, this is a dead end. Oh, they got a tractor here? This is the only thing close to a landmark that I've seen. I don't think it works, otherwise I would just plow through all this corn. As tall as I am, I still can't see over it either. All right, this is the exact same tractor I saw before. That's how you know you're going in the right direction, when you start seeing the same things again. Oh, is that it? Could it be? It is! You know what I just realized? This is the entrance. I exited through the same way I came in. Doesn't matter, I'm still counting it. Now let us never speak of it again. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. It's the Metropolitan Waterworks Museum. It's an old water pumping station that was built in the 1880s to pump water from this reservoir right here into the city of Boston. If you're unsure of exactly what that means, well, it means that you're about to see a bunch of giant, old-timey industrial machinery. The scale of this thing really cannot be overstated. It's 3 stories high from here and another 2 stories below ground. But sadly, you're not allowed to walk around on the catwalks up there, which, I mean, I guess you can't win them all. What's also cool about this place is that the building it's in is beautiful. I mean, nowadays a place like this would be in some nondescript, boxy warehouse somewhere, but back in the day, they actually took pride in facilities like this. As they should. There's a lot of exhibits here about water supplies and reservoirs, and it just kind of makes you think about where your water actually comes from, because I have absolutely no idea where my water comes from. I could probably stay here a lot longer, but all this talk about water has me kind of thirsty. I think it's time for a drink. We all know about the bar from Cheers, but rather than go there, I wanted to come here to the Hand Tavern, the oldest tavern in America in operation since 1795. Although admittedly, it's unclear if everyone here also knows your name. But more excitingly, they serve Hand Ale, a beer brewed specifically for this place by Samuel Adams. You literally can't get it anywhere else. Ooh, very nice. Kind of a shame they don't serve this anywhere but here. That's either brilliant marketing or a missed opportunity. But here's something else I discovered that I'd like to discuss. Happy hour is illegal in Massachusetts, so drinks cost the same at all times of day. That's a real problem for a guy like me. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. While I ponder this happy hour conundrum, I'm gonna go slam some oysters at the Red House restaurant, which sells them for just 50 cents during, you guessed it, happy hour. What a concept, right? But getting a belly full of cheap shellfish isn't the only reason I wanted to come here, because it's also right near something else that caught my eye. A spite house. Now, if you're not familiar, spite houses are houses built specifically to spite someone else, usually on awkward plots of land that have no business having a home on them, resulting in equally awkward structures. Modern building codes have largely eliminated the spite house. There's only a few of them in the entire country, but one of them is here. But I bring this up for another reason, too. There are 2 of them here. That's right, Boston is home to not 1, but 2 spite houses. I mean, there are just a handful of them in existence, but 2 of them them are here in Boston. I mean, that doesn't just happen. That says something about the people here, that they will not be pushed around. And I wanted to show you these not because I'm a fan of spite necessarily, but because I'm a fan of people that follow through on things in an extreme way. Like, I don't necessarily support the act, but I respect the passion, if that makes sense. But anyway, it makes sense that Boston's home to 2 of these houses, because remember, this is the site of the greatest act of spite in American history. This is the Boston Tea Party ship. It's a place where we actually get called to action by other patriots, board a ship, and then toss some tea into the water. This is very exciting.
Friends, brethren, countrymen, the detested tea has now arrived in Boston's harbor.
Whoa!
Join me now in the West Meeting House. There we will discuss the fate of this pernicious weed. Huzzah!
Before you throw the crate in, I have a question to ask you. Will you pay this unjust and unrepresented tax on tea?
No!
Then all my cut will throw it into the sea. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
I'm glad I went there. I got a real kick out of that. I just love it when people respond to stuff fully. No half measures, no compromise. In fact, it has me thinking about that whole no happy hour thing that I was annoyed about earlier. Now, don't get nervous. I'm not going to throw beer into the water or anything. I'm not a maniac. I just want to push back against it a little bit. I mean, if I think it's silly, I should stand up and do something about it, right? Right. Yeah, I chickened out. I was gonna try to sweet talk the bartender into giving me some kind of happy hour deal anyway, but I bailed at the last second. I'd have been a terrible Boston Tea Partier. So yeah, definitely paid full price for this. Huzzah!